Okay. I can truly tell you all look neat, you look appropriate. I hope we do this every day, right? I intended to speak in front of every roll call, but unfortunately I only had a chance to do one. And if you look back at the history of the Greek culture, they always had a word for it, they always had a phraseology for it. And this is the Alpha and the Omega, and this happened to be my Omega. This is at the end of my career as a law enforcement officer. And I want to tell you that I've been 41 years on this job. I've been perhaps on this job longer than anyone who's been on earth. And I can truly tell you that it's a remarkable profession. I enjoyed every bit of it. I certainly enjoyed being a chief for 16 years. I also had my bad luck and my knocks and my reprimands and my discipline. I've been chastised, and I've been not abused, but over the years from different systems within the system. But I stuck to my guns, and I was disciplined, and I really enjoyed it. And I understand, and I'm very proud to stand in front of you and tell you that we have perhaps the best police department in the nation. I've been throughout the nation. I've been all over the place. I've been in cities, counties, and states. And I've been involved with the International Police Association. And without doubt, we are the best I've seen. And I'm very proud of that. But more so than that, I'm very proud of the fact that the officer and the men working for this department made it what it is today. That's what I'm proud of. I'm proud of each and every one of you here today, and each and every one who has worked for the Hampshire Police Department since the day I started. I can truly tell you that you are embarking on a profession that is next to priesthood, because not many people can really truly go out and serve their brothers like the police department can. Less than 20% of our involvement in law enforcement is arresting people, maybe 18. But the rest of it is serving people and being kind to people and protecting their safety and giving them an education. So actually what you're doing is you're giving all this service and all this understanding to people. It's a hell of a way to take to be involved in society, to help your fellow man. Not many people can do that. And as I look at the profession, I look at the excitement you people are going to embark upon in the years to come. All this new technology, all of fingerprint enhancement, the DNA, the computers. It's going to be so exciting and so interesting. It's going to be rewarding to you, and it's going to build character to you. It's going to be very, very exciting. I wish I could stay on, but I've had my stay in the sun, and I'm leaving. But if you look in the future, you also have to look in the past. And I came from the past. I came on this job 41 years ago, 1950. And when I came on this job, there was no such thing as training. There's no such thing as education. We had two people on here that I knew who graduated from college. We thought something was wrong with them. We thought that they were inefficient. Nobody had any education when we came on the job. The first day you come on the job, they give you a badge, a gun, and they give you a soft hat. That's a felt hat. You walked around with a policeman. And you stayed with that policeman 1 or 2 weeks. And if Floyd didn't give you the uniform, if it took 2 months to make the uniform, you get trained for 2 months walking around with someone. If they made that uniform within 2 weeks, you're on your own. Completely, absolutely different today. And when I came on the job, they said to me, Tom, there's 3 things you have to do. Number 1, don't drink too much. That's a cardinal sin to drink. Don't run around with women. That's a cardinal sin. And make sure you should try every single door you're responsible for. Now, the amazing thing about that is 2 things are personal things, and one's a job related. So that was, if you wanted to succeed for 20 years in the police department, you had to do that. You had to do, that was a big criteria, Absolutely unequivocally different today. More education, more training, more specialization. It's amazing what this change has done. And change is healthy, but at the same time, change is difficult because we are a creature of habit. We just like to change, right?
I get it, Chief.
I'll wait till he gets done.
Okay. Only the wagon man.
But anyway, I'm going to talk about change. I think change is healthy. And how you make change, there's two ways to make change. Change is mandated to you through the court system, and that's what happened to us. We get the MAP decision, we all use decisions, and were forced upon us to change. The other way is you change it through collective bargaining, you change it through associations, you change it to a group to do what you can to make the law better for you. Like I got involved many years ago with, I worked 6 days and off 2. We had difficulty getting it, we got it down to 5 to 2. And then we had the 30-year pension. We get involved in legislation. We work together as a group, and we change it. So change can come about, and it can come back by either true revolution or true evolution. My suggestion is true evolution, true participation to try to change it. I changed it. I changed it to juvenile system. I changed the reactive to proactive from crime prevention. And all these other changes I participated. But I didn't change it myself. I got all this input from the policeman, not from Tom King. I get it from the policeman, just like you are, sitting here today, who came forward with these ideas. And let me tell you something, no chief of police, I don't care where he comes from, cannot be an island to himself, and he cannot be a one-man band. And I didn't run the Hampshire Police Department. My captains, my deputies, my staff did it, my patrolmen did it. I just made sure they did it. And the reason that I did it is I surrounded myself with talent. Tom King didn't do it. Let me tell every one of you that the department's good because of the men and the institution is made up good because of the participation of individuals. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, that, that make a change. And as I look forward, they say they're always asking you, what is your tough days and what are your bad days as chief of police? Usually they say, well, the worst thing you can do as a chief of police, one day you wake up, you're a chief of police, right? I almost didn't take the job. That's 16 years ago. I didn't think I'd last 2 years, right? I survived. But generally what happens is you say, what's the worst thing a chief of police can do or be involved in? And the first thing you come to is politics. Well, let me tell you something. Most policemen don't get involved in politics. And all of a sudden you are the chief, you have to talk to the alderman, you have to get the resources, you have to get the pay increases. And you become sort of a politician with a small p. So you have to remember that my philosophy is that there's no such thing as equality. Some are born rich, some are born poor. Some are born handicapped, some are born physically fit. Some are born with a spoon, some without a spoon. But the only closest thing to equality is the law. And we are the merchants of the law. And so actually the police department has to be, and should be neutral. I don't mean you shouldn't say you can't go around with a symbol on your finger and say you're a Catholic or a Protestant or a Democrat or a Republican. If anything should be neutral, it should be the police department. And that's why when you come to politics, as a chief of police, you should never pick a party and sponsor a party. There's nothing wrong with being whatever you want to be, and whether you're a Catholic or a Democrat or a Republican across your kitchen table. So that never became a problem with me. They always say politics is a bad thing. And the next thing is they say unionization is bad. But let me tell you something. Actually, I'm a unionist at heart, whether they know it or not. I get involved way back, before it was collective bargaining. It was illegal to unionize the police department years ago. So actually, I'm a unionist at heart. But that's a way of life. It's necessary. It's beneficial. But by birth, the union administration are adversaries. And we should understand adversaries because every one of you policemen are involved in adversary every day. Every time you arrest somebody, you're trying to prove the guy's guilty. We're the only business where the customer hopefully is wrong, right? Otherwise you put him in court. So understand is that the only thing wrong with the unionization and the management is bad management creates unionization. But today there's what's lacking is in society, with all unionization is that it has to develop a trust in communication. The police, administration, and the union have to trust one another, and you have to communicate. Not Manchester. I get along with the union for 16 years. There's no problem. They're the ones that helped us get a better pay raise. And I never fought with the union when it comes to benefits, pay raises. The only time I argued them was management prerogatives because they're not responsible for it. But we should work together. So the union has never been a problem to me. The biggest problem as a chief of police has been discipline. And you have to understand what discipline is. Discipline is as necessary as the air you breathe, right? You have to have discipline. You have to realize that as a police officer, each and every one of you have more power than anybody in society. You have more power than the judge. You decide today whether you stop somebody out, whether he goes to court or not. If he's guilty and you don't put him to court, you get more power than the judge. And if he didn't do anything wrong and you frame him and you say that he did something wrong which he didn't do, and you put him in the system, you get more power. So actually, when you have that much authority, you need discipline and you need control. And if the administration, which I belong to, you know, and all of you someday hopefully get promoted to belong to, if you don't discipline policemen, you know, civilians are going to come in and do it. You're going to civilian review board, and they're going to start saying, here's what's wrong with the society, right? But the only thing wrong with discipline is that I know my mother gave me that gift of what's right and wrong. And most of the policemen will come in front of me, 97 or 98, I don't know, admit they're wrong. They should never give me the gift, the amount of punishment. Nobody knows the right of punishment. And I've been disciplining people over the years, and I get to a point where I set up a disciplinary board. I said, listen, here's this, give me some input. I don't like it. It bothers the hell out of me to discipline somebody, but the thing is, I have to do it. Someone has to do it. And if you don't do it, we're all losers. And if I try to do is get some person when he's wrong, and in this society, you're going to make mistakes as a policeman. You're going to get in trouble. That's the nature of the game. Don't get me wrong, right? I just try to say, let's all be winners. Let the policeman admit his wrong. Let me admit my wrong. And let him prevent him from becoming cynical, right? But you have to do that. And that's the toughest part. Most chiefs get in trouble over discipline. Unfortunately, you need it. And I hope that you take that in context, because you do the same thing yourself. When you go out there and your mother's involved in an accident and she's wrong, you love your mother, I hope you do anyway, and you put her to court, you're just doing what I'm doing or the administration's doing. That's what I'm trying to think. But anyway, I'm sentimental over my years here. I love the job. I love being a police chief. And it was easy for me because everybody made it easy for me because of the talent I had. And I can truly tell you that I'm leaving it in good stead. It was untrained when I got here. We now become accredited with the 155th police department and 17,000 people, 17,000 stations. So that's an honor to be that high in that ranking. But, and we're leaving it, the new chief, Louis Craig. There's no doubt in my mind he's very, very talented, very capable. It's a good transition. He's an extension of what's going on today. I know Louis Craig different than most policemen know Louis Craig. I worked with him. I worked with him as a detective. I saw him grow. And I'll tell you right now, he negotiated every contract for me. He did everything he could for the policemen. He fought for all their rights. He gave them the pay raises. He gave them the work extra things. And it's amazing what he did. If you really know the other, so I'm telling you that he's very qualified, and he's very honest, and he's very capable. And I feel very proud to say that I can substantiate that he'd be a good chief. So it's left in good stead, and I look back and I say, what they always ask to me, what are you going to do when you retire? You know, what are you going to do? So I tell them that I'd really like to become a delayed vocational priest and go out and pray for the guidance of the city fathers, you know, to give us more resources, give us more men, and give us more money. Because Cicero a guy that said, the first and highest law of the land is the safety of the people. And we should have top priority, because without our institutions of law enforcement, all the other institutions fall by the side. And hopefully, but really truly what I'm going to do is I'm going to retire. I never changed jobs, I never changed lives, I never changed religion, I never changed barbers, I never changed insurance company. I'm very consistent. Most people change jobs, I didn't. And I like my job, and I'm going to retire and enjoy my family and my kids and work around the house. And all I can tell you, each one of you, is that what you should do someday, I hope you all get promoted. I can't say you're all going to become chiefs because only you have one chief, but it's like, if you become curious, you start reading and studying, and you comprehend what you read and study, you know, you can become creative. And become creative, you make a better department, you make a better individual, and you make a better professional. And if you mix in common sense with that, you'll have the right formula, you know, to raise the quality of life in the city of Manchester, which is perhaps one of the nicest cities, which has a town aspect that you can raise a family in. And I want to say God bless you, to each and every one of you. I'm very sentimental about it. I know I've made a few enemies over the years. I've made a few friends. But in the final analysis, I'd like you to judge me as a chief with a chief, not with someone else. And I'm very proud of you. And like I said, I've disciplined people. My record has always been that those who I've disciplined, I have promoted, which means that through discipline, you can build character. And so God bless you and good luck to you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.